Good afternoon, Ken. Want to take a moment here and review the lesson we had today, or a little discussion we had, I should say, about your golf swing today. It was a pleasure seeing you again after a while. I know I hadn't seen you for a little bit. I had really enjoyed sitting down and talking with you about everything. So if we look at your swings here, I've got the swing on the right-hand side where you first started when I walked out and spoke with you or talked with you about things. So one of the things that we see initially out of the gate there is that right foot. That right foot being relatively square to the target line. When you consider this being a target line here, you almost see that right foot being, almost perpendicular to it. When we look at the left foot being turned out, which, obviously that's what we talked about doing. But I think most importantly, when we look at this here, that's where we've seen your initial point, or what I initially saw with your golf swing. So as we look at this further, and I'm going to kind of bring this into you here and show you from behind, just so you can see both points of this. Now, when we look on the right-hand side, what you see here, our whole discussion today was still making a turn. We still have to make somewhat of a turn with the entire body. I don't care if it is 2 to 3 inches compared to 6 to 12 inches. I still want to see some type of turn or some type of movement from one side to the other, back and forth. Now, you weren't complaining, you weren't saying anything about any severe pain or any position that would restrict you as much with the making a little bit of a turn or even adjusting. So what I've seen here is, as you're going to take the club back, if I had to put a dot right on your right forehand here, what I want to show you here, and also a dot here on your right shoulder, or on your left shoulder, and one on your left, one on your right. What I want to show you here is you pull the club back a good 12 inches with your right hand before you even make any type of body turn. We talked about using the big muscles. Here, are you using the big muscles when you move that club back to there? Not necessarily, no. Let's get someone in here and just kind of show you. Let's see here. We'll go. I got everybody's heads on here, so it doesn't. Hold on. How about Dustin Johnson? Obviously, he's the freak of nature here when we talk about positioning, but still, as his club moves back, club gets set, but still, notice that position. Club gets set, shoulders rock, shoulders turn. You're here, and that left shoulder still hasn't moved. But as you go to take the club back here, still hasn't moved. All of a sudden, it has moved a little bit, maybe 2 inches, but look how this left arm is very square or very parallel to the ground. Then as you come down through, there's little to no hip turn going back. So now as you turn back down and through, it's all hands. Right hand coming through, collapsing over to the left, then that right side coming through. So it was all mainly a lot of arms, a lot of hands swinging in the shop. Now you wonder why you had a little bit of loss of distance. Well, that'd be the main contributor. When you look from behind here, you can almost see it. Right here, taking the club straight up. You see, try to get that turn here. Well, I'd like to see a little bit more. Okay. So when we look at your golf swing, we told that first thing I did here. Let's draw that line, that target line here. If you notice, I turn that right foot out. Turn the left foot out. By doing this, it loosens up the back, loosens up the muscles, loosens up the legs, loosens up the ability to where you can make a turn or make a movement on a turn going back. So as you look here, and I want to take you back here on the left-hand side here. What you'll take from this as I get going forward here, you're going to see yourself as you're going to turn back. Right hand still bringing the club back, but what we see here as a difference between that swing and here, look how much more extension you have. Just in that same amount of turn, extension being hands away from the body compared to here. Hands are still right up next to the body. No extension, no turn, no nothing here. Right hip starting to turn a little bit. We go up, full body turn. Look at the difference here in those two positions. Night and day difference here, Ken. Night and day difference. Look at the shoulders. Shoulders are turned, and I'm happy with that. I'm ecstatic with that. You hit 4 good balls right in a row. Well, one of them you said, I take it back. One of them you said was a little off the toe, wasn't exactly crisp, but still, still the same. Big difference. You can see the difference in your turn between the picture on the left-hand side, picture on the right-hand side. So as you go to turn back down, you see the whole body turning. Look at that left hip, right there. Left hip turning out of the way, club coming down, whole body turning through. Look at the difference in those two swings. Night and day difference there, Ken. Look at the body. Your shoulders actually turn through effectively like they should here compared to here turning out of the club because the hands and the arms were the ones that were primarily swinging through the shot. So as you see this here, we're down through, looks about the same, but overall we gained around 10 to 20 yards on the shot. So ideally, what I hope you take from this is one, we're going to turn a little bit more. So how do we turn a little bit more? Let's open up that right foot. Get that right foot open a little bit. Focus on making, like I said, whether it's an inch or 2 inches in that right hip, turning back a little bit, getting them shoulders to turn back to 9, 10 o'clock with that left arm, and then swinging down and through. That's all I wanted you to think about. Excuse me. Now, what we also talked about there for a little bit was talking about new clubs. Like I said, when you think about a chance in the time that you're thinking about doing that, give me a call by all means or shoot me an email. All right? Phone number 314-724-6539, or go online on my website, michaelwyattgolf.com, or shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com. Thank you, Ken. And again, it was a pleasure seeing you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Talk to you later, sir. Bye-bye.